Picture this. The room is charged with tension. Voices rise, cutting through the air like sharp edges. Someone slams a door. Another throws their hands up in frustration. Eyes dart nervously. Faces flush red with anger. The atmosphere thickens with panic, with urgency, with that suffocating feeling that everything is spiraling out of control. People are reacting, shouting, blaming, pointing fingers. The world feels like it's collapsing, and everyone is scrambling to hold on to something, anything to make sense of the chaos. Fear spreads like wildfire. Anxiety becomes contagious. And in the middle of all this noise, all this fury, all this emotional turbulence, there stands one person who is different. He is not yelling. He is not shaking. His face is calm, almost serene. His breathing is steady. His eyes are clear. While everyone around him is being tossed by the storm, he remains still, not frozen, not paralyzed, but grounded, centered, present. And if you watch him closely, you notice something profound. This calmness is not accidental. It is not ignorance. It is not the absence of awareness. It is discipline. It is the result of years of training, of mental conditioning, of inner work that most people will never do. This is the calmness of a Stoic, a person who has learned that peace is not found in the world around him, but in the world within him. And in moments like these, when everything falls apart, his calmness becomes his greatest power. The ancient Stoics understood something that our modern world has forgotten. They understood that while we have no control over the chaos of life, over the actions of others, over the twists of fate, we have absolute control over one thing: our response, our mind. Our inner state. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled during wars, plagues and political betrayal, wrote in his private journal that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He was not speaking theoretically. He was reminding himself in the midst of unimaginable pressure that his peace was not dependent on the world being calm. It was dependent on his ability to remain calm within himself. And that made all the difference. When everyone else is losing control, the Stoic remains steady, not because he is unaffected, but because he has trained himself to separate what he can control from what he cannot. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. The dichotomy of control. Epictetus, who was born a slave and became one of the greatest philosophers in history, taught this principle with fierce clarity. He said that some things are up to us and some things are not. Our thoughts, our choices, our actions, our responses, these are ours. But the opinions of others, the outcomes of events, the behavior of the world around us, these are not. And the moment you try to control what is not yours to control, you lose your peace. You become a slave to external circumstances. You hand over your power to forces beyond you. But when you focus only on what is within your control, you become free. You become unshakable. Imagine standing in a crowded room where everyone is arguing about something that went wrong. Blame is being thrown around. People are trying to control the narrative, to force others to see things their way, to change what has already happened. And in the corner, there is the Stoic. He is not arguing. He is not defending. He is not trying to change anyone's mind, because he knows that their reactions are not within his control. What is within his control is how he responds. Whether he lets their chaos infect him, whether he allows their panic to pull him off center, and so he breathes. He observes. He stays grounded in his own reason, his own clarity, his own virtue. And in doing so, he becomes the most powerful person in that room. Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher, taught that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. He knew that the mind left unchecked becomes a breeding ground for fear and anxiety. So he practiced something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. He would sit quietly and imagine the worst things that could happen. Not to torture himself, but to prepare himself. To strip those fears of their power. To realize that even in the worst-case scenario, he would be okay. He would endure. He would remain himself. And when the actual storms of life came, they never hit as hard as he imagined, because he had already faced them in his mind. This is the secret of Stoic calmness. It is not naive optimism. It is radical acceptance. It is the understanding that life will bring chaos, loss, pain, and uncertainty. And that is okay, because you are strong enough to face it. When the world around you is screaming, the Stoic listens, not to the noise, but to the silence beneath it. He listens to his own thoughts. He watches his own emotions arise, like waves on the surface of the ocean. But he does not become them. He observes them. He names them anger, fear, frustration, and then he lets them pass. Because he knows that emotions are not commands. They are signals. And just because you feel something does not mean you must act on it. This is emotional mastery. This is the calm that others mistake for coldness, but it is not cold. It is controlled. It is the presence of strength, not the absence of feeling. Picture a man standing in the middle of a hurricane. The wind is roaring. Trees are bending. Debris is flying. And yet, there is a lighthouse. Tall, solid, unmoved. The waves crash against it with violent force. But the lighthouse does not sway. It does not crumble. It stands. And in the darkness, it shines. That is the Stoic, surrounded by chaos, but never consumed by it. Others look to him for stability, for direction, for reassurance. Not because he is louder than the storm, but because he is quieter. His silence speaks louder than their chaos. His stillness anchors them. And they may not understand why, but they feel it. They feel that in his presence, they are safe, because he is not reacting. He is responding. And there is a world of difference between the two. When emotions rise in the room, the Stoic breathes deeper. He slows down. He creates space between stimulus and response. Viktor Frankl, the Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, said that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. The Stoics knew this 2,000 years ago. They knew that the untrained mind reacts instantly, automatically, driven by impulse and emotion. But the trained mind pauses. It reflects. It chooses, and in that choice lies all the power in the world. This is not passivity. This is not weakness. This is the most active form of strength there is, because it takes no effort to lose control. It takes no discipline to scream, to panic, to blame. Anyone can do that. But to remain calm when everyone else is falling apart? That requires mastery. That requires training. That requires a deep understanding of your own mind, your own triggers, your own patterns. And it requires the courage to choose peace over reaction. Even when every instinct in your body is telling you to fight, to flee, to collapse, Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that the mind is its own place, that no one can invade your inner fortress unless you allow them to. He wrote that if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. In this, you have the power to revoke at any moment. Read that again. The pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, your interpretation, your judgment, your story about what is happening, and that is within your control. You can change the story. You can change the meaning. You can choose to see the chaos not as a threat, but as a test, not as a breakdown, but as an opportunity to prove your strength. The calm man is not detached from the world. He is deeply engaged. He cares. He feels. But he refuses to be a slave to his feelings. He refuses to let the emotions of others dictate his inner state. He understands that empathy does not require losing yourself, that compassion does not require chaos, that you can be present, supportive, and strong without being swept away. And this is the freedom that the Stoics spoke of. Not freedom from the world, but freedom within it. The freedom to choose your response, no matter what life throws at you. In moments of collective chaos, staying calm is an act of rebellion. It is a refusal to participate in the hysteria. It is a declaration that you will not be controlled by fear, by anger, by the emotional storms of others. When you master your emotions, you master your life. You become the author of your own experience. You stop being a victim of circumstance and become the architect of your inner world. And that is the greatest power any human being can possess. Let others lose themselves to anger. Let them scream into the void. Let them burn with rage. Let them drown in anxiety. You stay still. You stay grounded in reason, in virtue, in the understanding that this too shall pass. Because everything does. The chaos will calm. The storm will end. The noise will fade. But your character, your discipline, your peace, those are eternal. Those are yours. And no one can take them from you unless you give them away. The calm man is not unfeeling. He is free, free from manipulation, free from the desperate need for validation, free from the fear that controls so many lives. And in that freedom, he becomes untouchable. Not because nothing can hurt him, but because nothing can break him. He has built an inner fortress so strong, so centered, so rooted in truth. The world can rage all at once, and he will remain. Like the mountain that stands while the winds howl. Like the oak that bends but does not break. Like the lighthouse that shines brightest when the night is darkest. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that the nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. And that is the truth that will set you free. Calmness is not weakness. It is not indifference. It is not ignorance. It is the highest form of power. It is the mark of a person who has done the inner work, who has trained their mind, who has learned to separate what matters from what does not. And when the world loses control, that person stands tall, not because they are better than others, but because they are better than they used to be, because they chose discipline over comfort, peace over chaos, strength over reaction. So the next time you find yourself surrounded by noise, by panic, by people losing their minds, remember this. You have a choice. You can join them, or you can be the lighthouse. You can react, or you can respond. You can lose yourself, or you can find yourself. And in that moment of choice, you will discover who you truly are. Because staying calm when everyone else is losing control is not just a skill. It is a way of life. It is the Stoic way, and it is the path to true freedom.